Today we're presenting Delta Property Fund's results. I think an excellent set of results under the circumstances. I think the economic climate is pretty tough at the moment, but a fund like Delta comes into its own in a very tough economic environment. I think management has been very, very busy with focusing on strengthening the balance sheet. We've reduced our gearing from 49.9% at the end of last year, and at a year end we were right down to 47.2%. This was further reduced to about 42% after we completed the redefine transaction, which is an excellent achievement. And as management has always guided, that ideally we would like to be sitting closer to about 40%. So I think we're well on our way to achieving that. On the distribution side, I think the distribution of 8% is slightly above market average, which is again an excellent result, considering that people are getting other funds are getting rent revisions. We basically are retaining a lot of our tenants. Of our expiring leases that were expiring in 2015, 2016, we managed to retain 79.6% of expiring leases, and the balance is still under negotiation. So we haven't experienced any tenant vacancies where tenants have left our building, which is again tenant retention is something that we do spend a hell of a lot of time on. And I think it obviously goes hand in hand with our CapEx program. We've had a huge CapEx program and a few achievements, particularly in the Durban CBD. We completed our redevelopment of the CMH flagship dealership in the CBD of Durban. This was 150 million rand reinvestment into Durban. This was done on a 12-year CMH lease, which I think will I think it was good for the CBD. I think it was the first redevelopment into the CBD in something like 8 years. The other benefit is that one of our properties, which is Liberty Towers, will benefit as we put in additional parking bays above the dealership, whereby Liberty Tower tenants will have access to that particular parking. Parking in CBDs is always an issue. I think we've spent a lot of time on mechanical change, a lot of lifts, and I think we took some investors on a roadshow, and I think they were thoroughly pleased with what we're achieving. On the rating side, I think we've got a short-term rating of A, and I think once we get our formalized rating, we are hoping that we'll just be shy of getting a full A grade credit rating, and that is purely because we are still slightly above that magic 40% LTV, which the rating agencies still like. Going forward, I think as I've already mentioned, the South African economy is going into some very tough economic environment, and I think not just South Africa but globally. I think the economy is not 100%, but it's fun. It's at a time like this that a fund like Delta comes into its own. Government generally does not hop from building to building. There are tough negotiators, and I think we've obviously been arm wrestling with them in terms of escalations and obviously rentals. But I think this has been successfully done by achieving the 80% that I've already mentioned.